Anyone who knows me knows DDT at times will make me laugh, or make me bust a gut, or cause my blood to boil. But that said, they're not the worst promotion to come out of Japan. They're kind of like the cult underground oddity that's gained a lot of steam to get national relevance, and is slowly developing international influence. It's been slow, but it's getting there. On November the 12th, 2023, from the Ryogoku Gokigen, we will see DDT's Ultimate Party 2023. Let's run down this fucking card. We kick it off with a 5-way tag team match. Damnation, Totally Addicted, represented by Kanon and MJ Paul, take on Naruki Doi and Kazuma Suzuki. The Burning, led by Yusuke, represented by Yuya Koroku and Yusuke Okada, Toi Kojima and Yuki Ishida, and the Joshi duo of Yuni and Rukiya. I'm going to cross Yuki and Rukiya and Yuni off the chances of winning this. And the other two of the other 4 teams are mishmashes. It boils down to Damnation or the Burning. And I don't know where the moral alignments are, since I don't follow DDT all that frequently. I'm going to say Burning comes out on top. Next up is a 6-woman tag match, compliments of Tokyo Joshi, as it's their younger crop going to war against each other. Yuki Arai, Moka Miyamoto, and Shino Suzuki take on Suzume, Arisu Endo, and Wakana Uehara. I'm going to give this to Arai, Miyamoto, and Suzuki, considering that Arai is the one who's been got at least some levels of experience under her belt when compared to the other 5. As in my view, the other 5 are still student wrestlers within the TJPW system, trainees. Next up is an 8-man tag team match that pits Sanshiro Takagi, the president of DDT, alongside Akitio, Makoto Oishi, and Shinichiro Kawamatsu. Their opponents, Yoshitatsu, Yoshihiko, Danshaku Dino, and Super Sasadango Machine. Now, why did I make air quotes in calling this an 8 when I said 8-man tag team match? The elephant in the room here is Yoshihiko. Why? Because Yoshihiko's a fucking blow-up doll. No, I am not kidding. It's a literal blow-up doll that is treated as a legitimate wrestler. Talk to my partner in the Mega Mets podcast, Mega Man and G. When I bring up DDT, he knows I'm not lying about the absurdity this promotion puts forward at times. Yoshihiko, even though I never brought up Yoshihiko, the doll still is a case in point. Or when we did our Power Struggle picks this past Friday, I mentioned the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metal title, how anyone and anything can win it, and I almost killed him from laughter. Though, to be fair, I almost killed myself because talking about that title just makes me bust a gut. Regardless, who comes out on top in this one? I'm going to go with Takagi, Akitio, Oishi, and Kawamatsu. Though I am frightened if Danshaku does his usual shtick. Granted, he's been a lot more vicious, and it's no fun and games ever since the Pheromones disbanded early last month in Shinjuku. Which is one of the main reasons I didn't like to watch DDT. The fucking Chippendale for Guys stripper faction that is now finally dead. In terms of a disbandment. Next up, six-man tag. The Voodoo Murderers, Junrei Saito, team with Toshizo to take on Yuki Onaya, Harashima, and the bridesmaid of the All Japan Four Pillars, Jun Akiyama. Considering the All Japan roots in this one, and how tied to that promotion Akiyama will always be, and how he essentially brought the King's Road style of wrestling with his own little flair to it into DDT, I don't know how this will pan out. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go Harashima, Akiyama, and Naya. Next up, Takeshi Masada versus Jiro Kuroshio. Can't believe I had to add that bit twice. But anyway. I don't know what the stakes are in this one, as it doesn't look like there's any championship at stake. Probably just there for filler, so I'm going to give this one a Masada. Daisuke Sasaki against Tetsuya Endo. These are probably two of the best DDT has got to offer to them, now that Takeshita is signed to AEW. Sasaki, Endo. Since that one bounced off my foot and didn't hit the ground clearly, let's try it again. Cleanly, let's try it again. Heads. I'm going to go Sasaki. Next up, for the KOD tag titles, Romance Dawn, Soma Takao, and Shota defend against Masahiro Takanashi and Antonio Honda. This is a no-brainer. I'm giving this to Romance Dawn. Honda is too old, and he's more of a goofball comedy wrestler when compared to the duo of Romance Dawn or even his partner, Masahiro Takanashi. Next up, oh boy. The ultimate poison chalice of pro wrestling is at stake when Hiromu Takahashi of New Japan Pro Wrestling, who is also the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, puts the Iron Man Heavy Metal title on the line against Kazuki Hirata. Since October 22nd, for the most part, Hiromu has had to have eyes in the back of his head. And going into power struggle, he would end up losing the title first to his iPhone 14 model he called Yellow, because he fell asleep with the damn thing on his chest. They would get it back from Sumi Sakai, only to lose it on the penultimate day of the Super Junior Tag League Tour, or the Taiji Ishimori, and then get it back from Ishimori at Power Struggle by beating him in a match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. And due to the volatile nature of the Heavy Metal title, Hiromu also won that off Ishimori. There's a reason that Chris Charlton and I call this belt the ultimate poison chalice of professional wrestling. And I can't mention the lineage of the belt without basically cracking up every time I do. That said, I think Hiromu will be happy to have this belt taken off his hands once and for all. I'm giving this to Kazuki Hirata. And then someone else will sneak up on him and steal the belt afterwards. Who will it be? I don't fucking know, nor do I fucking care. Moving on. Matt Cardona with Steph DeLander defends the DDT Universal Championship. Let's check if I put that in correctly. Whoops, I said KOD. It's DDT Universal. Sorry, folks. And for those wondering, unlike the WWE Universal Championship, this belt is not the big prize in DDT. That honor belongs to the KOD Openweight. It belongs to the King of Dreams Openweight Championship. Anyway, he defends the DDT Universal Championship against a fucked up wrestler for a fucked up world, Mao. Given that the king of the Indies is going to try to make this as hardcore as possible, and we know Steph is going to be involved in a lot of shenanigans, Mao's going to have to be on his toes. That said, if he's going to be the one to rescue the Universal Championship, so be it. Of DDT, so be it. I will take Mao to leave Ryogoku the new DDT Universal Champion. Next up is a match that's going to be a bit of a tearjerker. It's a 6-person tag match as Eruption made up of Saki Akai, Yukio Sakaguchi, and Hideki Okatani, the former KOD 6-man tag champions. And the current 6-man tag champions face off against Naomichi Marufuji of Pro Wrestling Noah, Kazuda Higuchi of DDT, and the Tokyo Joshi Pro Princess of Princess champion, Miyu Yamashita. And why is this a tearjerker? Because this will be the final match that Akai wrestles. She's hanging it up after a 10-year career. She's only around my age, which I find odd. She's only around my age at 36. So the question is, what led her to hanging the boots up? Let me see what the reason was. Now, she had announced on May 24th that she was going to be hanging the boots up. Now, has she explained the reason she wants to she's hanging it up? Well, here's what she said. Well, it's apparently she wants to continue her modeling career from what her career as a model. What she said as she left the press conference table on May 24th was this quote, I'm not strong and I'm not perfect. Ever since I joined the industry, I was surprised. The fans are just like me, fighting, enjoying, crying, feeling frustrated. But there's a difference between the ring and the scenes. But if it wasn't for you, I'd never be here. All of my successes are all thanks to you. Thank you to all my fans who made me into a wrestler. End quote. Last week, she just had her final match over in Tokyo Joshi. And last month, she had her final match as her alternative character in TJPW, Saki-sama, the leader of the faction Neo Bishiki Gun. Don't ask. I haven't seen most of their stuff outside of what's most of their older stuff. Most of what I did know about that group was up until their disbandment and Saki retiring the character. That being said, my pick to win this will be Marufuji, Higuchi, and Yamashita. Next up, Chris Jericho versus Konosuke Takeshita, carrying over from the feud in AEW that Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the rest of the Elite have had with the Don Callis family for the last 6 or 7 months now. I don't see Jericho picking up the W here. I'm going to give this to Takeshita, especially since DDT is his original turf. But with how much Callis has poisoned his mind, I think Jericho could be going into this as the babyface, not as the heel. But either way, I'm sticking with Takeshita. Finally, the main event. Chris Brooks defends the KOD Openweight against Yuki Ueno. This came after Who's Gonna Top, which occurred back in September, where in the main event, Chris Brooks retained against Saki. And then almost immediately afterwards, Yuki Ueno came out and issued the challenge. The kid's only 28, for those wondering. And his resume has been pretty impressive in DDT. Two-time Universal Champion, one-time KOD Tag Champ with Naomi Yoshimura, six-man champ with Kota Umeda and Koji Takeda, as well as Shinya Aoki and Super Sasadaga Machine, so he's been a two-time champ. He's currently the co-holder of the 10-man tag team titles with Mao, Shunma Kasumata, Shinya Aoki, and Toi Kojima. He won last year's DO Grand Prix, and he's a 6-time Iron Man Heavy Metal champion. You can go one of two ways about this. Pull the trigger and put the belt on the young blood, or let the vet continue to hold it. They're both still relatively young. Ueno at 28, Chris Brooks 32. Who gets the gold in this case? Hmm. I'm gonna give this one to Chris Brooks. He walks in and he walks out of Ryogoku still the King of Dreams openweight champion. Beyond that, I don't have a damn thing left to say for this show. We'll see how it plays out this Sunday in Ryogoku. Leave a comment, smash the like, and sub to the channel. This is Mets228 signing out. Goodbye, and good fucking night.